Johnny said his hellos to Damien and Deb. I went to the kitchen with the flowers, filled a pint glass with water, sawed a few inches off the stems with a bread knife, and plunked them into the makeshift vase. "Been a fluctuation in the Boise Rip," Johnny was saying when I returned to the living room. I felt his eyes following me as I went to place the flowers on the table near the door. "The past day or so, the energy surrounding it has started to swell and recede in a rhythm, like a tide." I sat down next to Johnny, close enough for my shoulder to press against his arm, and curled my legs up. He shifted back slightly so he could slide his arm behind me. It rested along the back of the sofa, just close enough for me to feel the warmth of his skin across my shoulder blades. "Energy around the rip?" Deb asked, tilting her head. Damien's eyes lit with interest, and he leaned in as if to be sure to catch whatever Johnny said next. "The interdimensional rips emanate their own power," Johnny said. "That's one of the reasons access to the major rips is restricted." The local rip was a permanent tear between dimensions, a doorway that allowed hellspawn to invade our world. My job on Demon Patrol consisted of trapping and killing the minor demons that came through smaller, spontaneous interdimensional burps that occurred randomly. Minor demons didn't have enough demonic energy to possess a person, but they were nasty pests that would attack small pets and scratch the hell out of you with the claws that tipped their bat-like wings and talons, if given the chance. Minor demons were mostly just a nuisance. It was the archdemons that really caused trouble. They were much larger and more powerful hellspawn, capable of possessing humans. If the possession could be reversed in time through exorcism, separating the demon from the human before the creature drove the person to kill, the possessed could usually fully recover. But if a person took another life while possessed, the fusion was permanent. Damien was almost literally on the edge of his seat. As a lifelong student of supernatural phenomena and a high-level magic user, he lived for this stuff. "And this fluctuation is new?" Johnny nodded slowly. "As far as I can gather. I wonder what's causing it." Damien's eyes flicked toward his Demon Patrol backpack, which sat on the floor against the ottoman just out of his reach. I'd bet anything his fingers were itching to dig out his ever-present notebook so he could scribble down things to look up later. Not that Damien would scribble. His handwriting was so legible and consistent it was practically its own font. Roxanne looked up from her phone. "Maybe it's 'cause of Halloween. I'm dressing up as Supergirl. Hey, can we start the movie now?" "Actually, there could be something to that," Damien muttered to himself, giving in to his urge and reaching for his pack. While Damien bent over his laptop, the glow of the screen revealing his squint-eyed focus, the rest of us settled in to watch the latest superhero flick. I kept thinking of what Johnny had said about the rip fluctuation. Rhythmic, he'd called it. I'd asked him to bring his scanner so he could check how much of my human essence was still left. A few months back, I'd briefly died after a call on the job went awry, and when I came to on a gurney that was queued for the morgue, things had been, well, strange ever since. The soul of a reaper had hitched a ride with me back to the living. Johnny had been doing measurements every 2 or 3 days, and over the past several weeks, the reaper soul that had tethered itself to me had seemed to slow its consumption of my soul. But when I'd woken this morning, something had felt different. At first I thought it was due to a particularly vivid vision of my missing brother Evan, but the unsettled feeling had stayed with me. A new sensation had taken root deep in my gut, too, coming and going in waves like a stomach cramp. Vague hunger was the only way I could think to describe it, but nothing I ate seemed to satisfy it. My eyes felt twitchy and strained, too. I didn't have proof that any of this was related to the Reaper, but I felt sure it was. And I was equally certain it wasn't good. By the time the credits rolled, Roxanne was half slumped against the back of the sofa and over Loki's rump, asleep. Deb touched her shoulder, gently waking her. When I turned on the lamp next to the sofa, Damien looked up, blinking as if he'd forgotten we were all here.